Hi, I'm Laurie Dobson, and this is Island Update. Today is Thursday, April 30th, 2020, and tomorrow's May Day. So I've had many resolutions to try to get my weight down before my birthday, May 31st. So I've got 4 weeks to go. And recently I was told that the CDC had said some things about body mass index. And so I looked up the measurement for that and my height, gave myself an extra quarter of an inch that I don't deserve, and brought myself up to a certain point, and I'm still over the line. So with the enthusiasm to try to follow CDC guidelines, because I don't want to be high risk, I decided to send a letter response on Carrie Alley's suggestion to the town about different ways that we can all deal with things that are helping with masks and that sort of thing. And I was really glad to see it, because I've been not seeing any meetings by the selectmen, although they were going to be meeting twice a week. So I've been missing those. And I was also hoping to hear back about some of our latest developments. And it sounds like from what Carrie said, that some things are definitely being worked on, and updates are really good things. So I was encouraging her and wrote back and said, thanks for ramping it up. And what I meant to say was, thanks for showing some strength of communication and raising our awareness up, ramping it up, my way of saying that. And then I added a few other things on there about fitness and health. There were some things that the CDC talked about, as far as keeping a strong immune system. And I mentioned the BMI thing because it was on my mind about myself, because I could use it. And it got responded to in a very strong way. Apparently the way I said it made people think that I was addressing it to them personally, which I very much wasn't. I was coming from my own concerns. I also was told by a person on a rescue service, off island here, but a rescue service person that I know, that it was encouraged to consider the fact that high risk, being an EMT and being on the service, it's a high risk to be over a certain BMI, and that obese people have a problem, especially with the COVID virus. Having eaten my fair share of yummy foods this last winter, not getting out as much as I should, it's been an issue. And I also think that with the stress levels, the cortisol, they say it can collect, and I just have not been feeling my best lately with the added weight. So I did hear that right from the start from someone that was back in February, from a person who doesn't have weight issues. And but I believe that she meant it kindly. She's got concerns in her own family for people that have issues, and so I'm sure she was just coming out of her own concerns and not thinking to be offensive to me. It definitely hit me, because I was thinking she meant it for me, and I know that she did, but I know that it was meant in a positive way. So it brings me to the thought that because my comment on the Cranberry Isles info page was so strongly responded to by several people, most of whom are if not all, are on the island of Islesford next door, that were acting apparently in defense of someone who they thought that I was attacking with my comments. And I tried to say, this is a CDC guideline, and we are all concerned about those and trying to keep up on those, that I thought it would be worth mentioning, but not to be taken personally or as a slight or a slur to anybody. I think whoever wants it to apply themselves should, and I think we should be encouraging each other to be mindful of health issues to the best that we can. And if we don't want to, we don't want to, and that's everybody's personal decision. But that doesn't mean we should ignore what the state is telling us. Just like I don't think that we should ignore what's happening when people are in quarantine, that those are really important things to address as well. That when we're told quarantine by the governor, it means we stay in our house. It means we don't go out. And we were also encouraged to have everything brought in and have everything done so that we wouldn't be back and forthing with workmen and that sort of thing. to the best of our abilities. And, obviously everybody's going to be careful and do the best that they can. It's not that we're not. I mean, the virus won't come on our island if we're doing perfect things, but we can probably guarantee that at some point it will come on no matter what our best intentions are. And at that point, we'll just have to make the best that we can of it. But that doesn't mean we have to not take proper precautions. And those are the social distancing. Those are all the things that we're told to monitor. The masks, the social distancing, and all those things. and whatever else we can manage to do above and beyond that, help make masks for other people, various things to help make it easier, to reduce our exposure, to do all the hand washing. I mean, everybody knows all those things. Those things are being done, and people are still in a state where they're more at risk. Americans are more at risk, it often appears, than some other countries with other practices. It doesn't seem to respect country lines and definitions of lines across countries, but it does appear that we Americans do have somewhat of a compromised immune system, and that's what I'm hearing some people saying. And I don't mean to, at this time, repeat all the things I hear people saying, because I know there's too much of that, and there's too much back and forth, and we're already split in our divisions of things, as I said in previous videos. Divisions along island lines, along people coming onto the island, people that are year-round islanders, people that have been here for a long time, people that consider me a newcomer, although I'm a 10-generation person from Kennebunkport, a Mainer. I'm a long-time Mainer, long time than most families that have been here. But locality and tribalism seems to trump a lot of different things. In other words, if you come here, you are kind of required, unspoken, but you're kind of required not to speak up, not to be a communicator, and not to address particular concerns. But I don't believe that what I believe in is important to me should be something that I should hold under my hat. I've been a victim of domestic violence for a long time in a marriage. I've had trouble with addiction and abuse, alcoholic abuse, and alcohol abuse, and I operate sometimes with impulsiveness to speak my mind and to be truthful to my principles, and that can be a way that maybe not every islander is comfortable with, because I know that everybody here likes to make sure that they don't step out of a certain general consensus. So I'm comfortable speaking for myself, and I think that in order to do the best you can for a community, sometimes you have to be willing to strike out and say things that you think ought to be said. And I'm willing to be that person. I have confidence in myself in being able to stand up to a certain amount of blowback, but I don't like. But I do accept that there are going to be some people that misunderstand me and think that I'm being coming from a certain point of view, assuming that I'm trying to make personal slights on people. And I'm not of that nature. To me, it's principles above personalities. And that's really something to consider, that when someone's saying something, considering the reason that you might disagree with the person, you can disagree without being disagreeable. And I have not intended in any way with anyone to be disagreeable to them. And I think anyone that is trying to make it look as though I have been is misunderstanding me. So I welcome some comments. I've always suggested people talking about their concerns and needs to me. I'm hoping to use my videos as a way to, allow free expression. ability to discuss things in an open and non-judgmental environment. And to the extent that I do that, I'm succeeding. To the extent that I have something to learn, I'm definitely willing to be corrected on those lines. I do think that what I'm trying to do here must be a little threatening because the responses have been strong. On Islesford, there's a lot of ladies over there that seem to be misunderstanding some things. So I really hope you reach out to me. I'm very willing to talk, and you'll find me very approachable. But that doesn't mean that I think you have the right to try to make people feel diminished or hated. The hate mail that came to me. I think people need to see what they're trying to do and what is the actual aim in all of that. Because I think without realizing it, sometimes people can just fall into certain competitive modes. You know, our islands here, Islesford and Great Cranberry, I'm on Great Cranberry. I've been told have been very competitive traditionally, and that there's animosity. Coming here, I was told by the real estate lady that the islands got along really well and people were really easygoing and there is no real class issues or any kind of issues with summer people and year-rounders. I find that, in fact, we could stand for some improvement. Getting this kind of response has been dismaying. I don't think that what I'm doing is wrong, but I am willing to hear whatever I am saying that's not coming across in a way to have people feel confident in my motives. So please feel free to talk to me. I'm very approachable, and I do appreciate your listening to me and taking 12 minutes and counting time to hear me talk. Thanks, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.